Definitely. Tell me about your cooking and your history with culinary arts.
It's my religion. I learned at my father's side. I've been on the stove since I was 5 years old, and I've been cooking for more than 25 people since I was 10. I've traveled the world, many, many, many countries, different palates. I've gotten to taste them all, learn how to cook them all, duplicate them all, and perfect them all. It's the only part of me that's as pure as singing. And in a way, it is singing with my hands.
Gotcha. In a lot of ways, cooking is almost like an art form, you know.
Oh no, it's totally an art form, but more than that, it's a science. There's just certain things you can't do. No matter how great a chef you are, you can't make oil and water mix. You can combine, you can add to, but you can't make it mix. You know, certain dough without yeast, it doesn't matter what you do, it's going to be a flatbread. You know, it's science. And I think it speaks to the geeky side in me, you know, and it's a world in there.
What were the first kind of dishes that caught your eye, you know, that you love?
I mean, of course, I fell in love with what I had in my home. My father was a chef. I ate well my whole life. I don't know what it is to live. Well, actually, I know what it is to live in a household where the food is bad, where people think it's good, but that's only because I came from a household where food was impeccable. So, you know, for me, it's like, all right, best example. When me and my first husband first got married, 5-star restaurants, Michelin star rated restaurants between Philly and New York, all the time. One month we looked at the credit card bill. $7,500 in 1 month on dinner and drinks. That was frivolous and irresponsible. All I could hear was my father in my head. Why would you pay somebody for what you can do? So every week after that, we would go to a restaurant we loved. I would bring my notepad. We would order what we wanted to eat, the best, whatever it was, didn't matter how much it cost. We would order it. I would taste both, and then I would break down the recipe so I could go home and recreate it. And so, of course, the restaurant bills got smaller. The grocery bills got larger, but then it turned into something else. I was at home cooking all the time. So we started inviting friends. Then a lot of my friends were artists and writers and poets. So then we started having ciphers in the crib while I was cooking. And then it became this whole thing called Soul Food Cypher, which I filmed in California and in Dallas, the first episode. So it's like, it's a journey. It's a world for me. You know what I mean? It's a part of me.
What are some of your favorite ingredients to use?
Ain't too many women that can cook meat like me. I cook meat like a man, like my dad taught me. I'm heavy-handed and I'm precise. If you want it medium well, it's going to be medium well. If you want it rare, it's going to be rare. I serve a man his meat how he wants his meat.
Okay. What about like desserts? Anything favorites?
Oh yeah, I cook a mean ass fucking cake. I make an amazing medicated peach cobbler. Oh, with rum sauce. Oh, so good.
Gotcha. You say you've traveled. Through your travels,
1,000 cities in my life.
Of all those cities, what has been some of the best cuisine you've tasted?
France, of course, Italy, Japan, and Brazil.
Really?
Yeah.
What dishes from those places and why those places?
Brazil, rice. Rice and meat, period. And plantanos, you know, cooked the old school South American way, which a lot of times are flattened out more like how the Indians do corn cakes.
Yeah.
Really dope. And you can fry those in the chips, turn it into like a little dish. Yeah. That's amazing when you take the plátanos and you smash it all the way down, and then you like put it in like a muffin cup and you lace it, and then you just put whatever you want in it and bake that whole off. Oh my God, with like just a little touch of Grand Marnier. Oh, insane.
You mentioned you also knew Anthony Bourdain.
Yeah.
Can you tell me how you crossed paths with him and how you learned from him?
A very good friend was a very good friend of his. I taught him how to sing Try a Little Tenderness on his guitar. He let me volunteer in his kitchen while he was killing it at the George Cinq, and I was singing at the the Casino de Paris. And I volunteered, and I peeled potatoes, julienne vegetables.
Where was this?
In Paris,
Okay,
at the George Cinq.
Oh, okay.
Proper, like about 8-minute walk from the Champs-Elysees, right there, not far from the Eiffel Tower. Jim Morrison used to eat there. You know what an honor it is to be a fucking rock and roll chef and get your Michelin stars in that bitch. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and I got to sit there and I just got to watch. And I already knew everything that he was doing. But with Anthony, it was clarity of palate and execution. Cook. It's like watching my daddy cook.
And you connected as friends too.
God bless the dead. We knew each other for a short while, and if I ever saw them, we bumped into each other. It was cool, but when I heard about his passing, yeah,
Gotcha.
I feel like it's a suspect to me as Tupac's
Right.
death.
Got you. And do you think you could carry on some of his tradition through your cooking?
Oh, I would never try to even think I could understand the science, the geekness of the palate and the cooking ability of Anthony Bourdain. But what I will say is there was enough of it that I got to absorb that became a part of me. And nobody does sauce the way I do sauce, you know? I know how to make a béarnaise. Like, and that's one of the hardest motherfucking things to do, especially when you're doing steak au poivre, because you have to make sure that it's temperatured out right, because a traditional steak au poivre is only cooked to a medium rare. And then when you put the au poivre over it, especially if you're using the oyster mushrooms, it cooks out the rest to a perfect meat. And his beef Wellington was better than Gordon Ramsay's.
Right.
Much better. Much better. It was the spice. Yeah.
And last thing, what we'll touch back on all these topics, but what would you like to do with your cooking, and what would you like to show people through your cooking in these next upcoming shows?
Successfully launch my Compassionate Care Cafe, medicated foods for people suffering in great pain, whether it be cancer, to be able to take my dishes and turn them into express meals where a cancer patient can order this amount of meals for the week and have not only nourishment and sustenance, but relief while they're going through chemo. That's the dream.
Gotcha.
And my bistro jazz club when I retire in the south of France, in Montpellier. I can't wait for that.
We'll be in touch. We can't wait for these future episodes. We've had your cooking. You can cook. Thank you.
Thank you, darling.
Appreciate it.